Hey guys, today we're taking a look at the S.H.Figuarts Dragon Ball Z Super Saiyan Son Goku The Games Begin, Tamashi's latest and hopefully greatest Goku release yet. And I can tell you this much, on the surface it just looks like another updated Goku figure, but after spending some time with this guy, there's actually quite a lot going on with all the mechanics and engineering. So make sure you're nice and comfortable because we're about to get pretty in-depth with this one, head swaps and all. Alright, here it is guys, the S.H.Figuarts Dragon Ball Z best damn Goku figure ever. Alright, so let's see how this new Goku stacks up against a couple of other Super Saiyan Gokus from the past. We have the OG Super Saiyan Goku on the left, Full Power Super Saiyan, Tamashi store exclusive Headchala Goku, and the legendary Super Saiyan on the far right. Height-wise, they're about the same with a bit of variance between the head and neck, which you can extend up. But Games Begin Goku is definitely a lot beefier than the other guys on the left and fits in perfectly with, I guess you can say, the newer updated aesthetic. He's not as huge as legendary Super Saiyan, but Games Begin Goku arms, chest and neck are looking swole, especially that neck, which will probably make head swaps for most older figures pretty much impossible. But I am digging his buff proportions, the big broad shoulders with that nice V-taper, huge arms and just an overall stockier build than his predecessors. The sculpt is completely brand new here, no reuse from any previous releases, and uses a mix of soft and hard plastics. I think what Tamashi were going for here was the best possible balance between aesthetics and articulation, giving the figure less cuts and overall a seamless looking silhouette. They did an amazing job with the upper half of the body using a soft plastic overlay for the gi, but this time, instead of tucking it into the belt and making it one solid piece and restricting the ab crunch, they've made the soft plastic gi overlay float over freely, sculpting it to look like one seamless piece. Torso actually covers a mid-torso section that's sculpted above the belt, so instead of having just a floating belt piece, they've sculpted some orange gi above the belt to connect the upper torso when you crunch forward or backward or sideways, and it hides those gaps a little bit more. There's actually a lot going on within the body in terms of all the inner mechanics. From what I can see, it's a ball joint with a hinge, and when you couple that with the soft plastic, and make the cut at the lower half of the torso, gives you some pretty impressive ab crunch whilst making the torso look like one solid seamless piece. I also love what they've done with the sleeves of the gi. You can push them back or pull them over the shoulders depending on your preference. The crotch is also a single soft plastic piece and gets some really good range, which I'll show off a little bit later in the video. The knees are a single joint, which makes for a cleaner looking aesthetic. You're still going to get as much range as double joint knees, just like Daima Adult Goku, so all you single joint haters, just don't worry about it. I will say this though, the way that they cut the thighs, I think can be a little bit jarring at first glance. I do wish they would have cut the thighs a little closer to the actual crotch like the legendary Super Saiyan, but when you have him in action poses, I guess it doesn't really matter that much. Going back to the aesthetics, this is Goku from the later half of Dragon Ball Z, so the art style is a lot sharper and more angular compared to the older bodies, which I still think work great as your Saiyan Saga, Namek Saga Gokus. If you haven't seen my top 10 older Goku figures you should have in your collection video, go check that one out. Older figures definitely have a place in your collection. So gone are the logos. It's a simple, vibrant, bright orange and blue gi without belt tassels hanging at the front. We get that deep V cut in the orange part of his gi with red trimming and yellow laces for his boots. There really isn't too much paintwork except with some shading in his hair and a bit of darker orange shading on the front of his pants. We get two head sculpts with this release, something that's becoming more and more standard with Figuarts. Yay! You get your standard Super Saiyan hair, strands all up, and an in-action windswept hairpiece for all your battle mid-flight poses. Games Begin Goku comes with 4 faceplates, including your brooding stern look for staring down perfect cell, your classic teeth grit with eyes looking off to the side, and a mouth wide open shout for all your Kamehameha poses. I'm a huge advocate for powered down or more relaxed options when it comes to faceplates, and this one does come with one. And honestly, it looks a lot better in hand than in any other photo or picture I've seen. A lot of the photos I've seen have the faces looking pretty flat, probably because of the lighting, but all the faceplates here are actually quite angular and have that late Dragon Ball Z sharpness to them. So when you have the figure in natural light, the faces actually cast some shadows resembling the shading from the animation. So I am pretty happy with these, but I do hope we'll be getting more options for Goku, maybe in some future releases. Come on Tamashii, you gotta give us these two faceplates, iconic manga art right here. Alright, so let's take a look at the articulation. For the head, you get a ball hinge that, coupled with a ball joint at the neck, gives you some really good range all round. Head looks way up, looks down until his chin hits his man boob muscles. You get some nice side to side tilt and 360 rotation. His arms and sleeves come right into his chest for a very natural and effortless looking Kamehameha. And because the sleeves, both orange and blue, are separate pieces, you can pull them down to cover the shoulders a little bit more. You get 360 rotation at the shoulder, some very good range going up and out with the arms, way past 90. There's a bicep swivel, double elbows, a hinge and swivel at the wrist. Again, the torso is technically one solid piece, but it doesn't attach to anything, so it doesn't hinder any movement either. The gi is a soft plastic overlay that kind of overlaps the belt, which itself has some orange sculpted into it, so you have some of that orange making up the rest of the lower torso. And because the torso and belt are separate pieces and basically just overlap each other, it makes for some really impressive articulation in this area. I mean, just look at that crunch going forward. Great range going back, side to side, rotation, pretty much anything you'd want. The crotch area is also made from soft plastic, so that helps and you get a nice kick going forward. A really good spread going out. Single joint knees with double knee range. There's also a new little boot tilt, which initially I didn't know what I'd use it for, but when you have him crouched down on one knee, it definitely helps to keep the feet touching the ground. There's a swivel at the ankles, feet go down, feet go slightly up, toe hinge, and we get some really good ankle tilt there as well. And now to everybody's favorite part of the show, head swaps! Woohoo! Yay! Alright, so yeah, we're back with head swaps, and this is a brand new Goku figure, so yeah, you're damn well sure I'm going to be doing some head swaps. So we'll try to get through this as smoothly as possible. I have all the well, usually I have more heads, but I did try them before recording this, and I only have a couple of like 2.0 version 2 body heads here because this neck, well, there's two things you should know. Number one is that the neck peg here is very different to any other Goku figure we've seen in the past. It is a hinge with a ball joint at the top, as you can see. So there it goes, hinges back and forth. But this ball peg here is a lot thicker than any of the older figures, even the newer stuff like Legendary Super Saiyan. The only figure it fits without any blue tack is Gohan here. But that brings us to problem number two. This neck is super thick. Like, the neck itself is super thick, and none of these figures, none of these heads will fit properly on this neck. Some of them might look okay, and you might have to, if you really actually want to use this body with any of these heads, you might have to remove that joint altogether. But you'll see here that none of these heads kind of match the thickness of this neck. So those are the two issues that you kind of have to get past if you want any of these heads to work on this body. So let's start off with, like I said, the only head that actually fits on this body without any blue tack. So we're going to start off with, and this is the one that I want to try the most because, hey, New body, looks exactly, well, it's a perfect fit for Ultimate Gohan, right? So we have an Ultimate Gohan head. There's also another issue that I want to address later on, and it's not to do with the body itself, but with the head, in case you want to use this head, the new head, for any of the older bodies. But we'll get back into that a little bit later at the end of the video. So as you can see here, it doesn't look too bad, but it does sit on the neck a little bit high. And you can see here the neck is super thick. You can kind of like, you know, bend it down and fudge it a little bit. But yeah, it's not like 100%. And I don't mind that you see the joint there at the back, you know, because you do get some, you know, really good head tilt going up then, but it just seems a little bit thick. I'll pop that off and I'll show you the Super Saiyan head, which I prefer. You hear that click? Fits on. And again, it just sits, I mean, a little bit too high, I think. Maybe the head size is a little bit too small for the neck. The good thing is that the neck actually, it is on a ball joint. It does pop out, see, relatively easily. So if you can somehow get Gohan's neck piece here to, you know, pop out and fit onto this ball joint here, you might be able to get a Dragon Ball Z Buu Saga Ultimate Gohan going. So that's an option there. Let's pop that off. What should we do next? Let's do some older Super Saiyan head bodies. And we'll start off with the latest one, which is the Legendary Super Saiyan. And you would think that this ball socket here would fit this joint here, but it doesn't. It's just a tad too small, and I don't really want to break anything. But if you use some blue tack, this is how it would look, and it looks pretty good. If you prefer this faceplate, this hairstyle, to the one with the actual one that this body comes with, I think you can get it to work. I've gotten a few questions asking whether these faceplates will fit with this hair, and the answer is no. They're completely different systems. You'll see here that the socket here is on the back of the head, whereas, you know, every other Goku figure we've had in the past is actually on the base of the head. So it doesn't fit, the faceplates don't fit this hair, unfortunately. But again, blue tack, and you can definitely get it to work. And this actually looks pretty good. I like it. The second head option with the Legendary Super Saiyan, bangs all up, screaming face, looks pretty good as well. Alright, next up I'm gonna try one of my favorite head sculpts, the Super Saiyan 2 head sculpt from the SDCC. I don't remember which year it was from, but it's an SDCC exclusive. And again, the cavity here is probably, you know, not even going to go over the neck. It's just going to like sit on top. But, you know, it kind of gives you an idea of how it would look. Again, you'll need some blue tack, but because the head can't actually go over the neck, you're left with something that looks, you know, a little bit silly. But yeah, I would really love a Super Saiyan 2, a proper Super Saiyan 2 Goku on this body someday. That's that one. And the next Super Saiyan head here is from the Tamashii store exclusive, one of my favorite Goku figures. And this one, the cavity here is a little bit wider, and you can get it to sit a little bit lower. So that actually looks pretty good. I like it. You know, if you like that kind of semi-translucent look of the Super Saiyan hair, I think this actually works really, really well. So I'm guessing both, because this figure here does come with both, with two head sculpts. So yeah, you can probably get the other one to work as well. So again, the socket here is way too small and won't be able to fit this neck peg. So either you take this, you know, neck peg out or just stick it on with some blue tack. All right, next up we have, let's go with some base heads. So one of my favorite of all time base Goku heads is, of course, the version 1 OG base form Goku. He comes with some of the best face plates ever in the line, and this is one of my favorites. It's kind of a goofy looking, you know, Goku face. And again, you know, the space in between here there's just not enough space to actually go over the neck. But we are going to get an updated base form Goku, very similar, probably the same as this body, just, you know, slightly recolored with a base form head. And it doesn't look like it's going to come with any goofy faces like this, which I wish it did, but you know, what can you do? So that's not going to fit. Next up we have I forget what this release is called, but it's the one that's based on, you know, your early Dragon Ball Z Gokus, base form Gokus. It was a US only exclusive. It's kind of a base of the SDC exclusive 1 or 2 years ago, the one with Kinton and Kid Gohan, one of my favorite version 2 body Gokus, and probably one of the best looking head sculpts for an early Dragon Ball Z Goku. So again, this one does go over a little bit more because it does have a little bit more space here in the head, and we're going to try some blue tack because I like the look of this, actually. The head is actually a little bit bigger than your normal like version 2 body Gokus, and yeah, it looks pretty good. I like that. A little buff, but not too shabby. So if you have this figure, got some blue tack, you can have some fun with it. All right, let's get that off. If you like the diamond head sculpt, again, you get a bit more space with the head there, this little cavity here. The ball socket here is too small, so it won't fit onto the ball joint, but again, with some blue tack, you can get it to fit. And this does have kind of like, I guess, a younger Goku vibe to it. The head is slightly bigger, so it doesn't look, you know, completely off with the buffer, bigger body. So if you do like the diamond base form head Goku, then yeah, this could work as well. All right, next up, let's go Ultra Instinct, and we have Ultra Instinct Saiyan. I don't think this is going to go over, but let's have a look. That's not, yeah, the neck is way too thick. Way too thick. It's not going to go over. And the head looks a little bit small on this body anyway, so... not the best. I didn't pop out my mastered, Ultra Instinct Mastered Goku head because it's basically the same, except, you know, the hair is different colored. But we do have the special edition, limited edition Toyotaro version, which the heads are slightly bigger and there is a bit more space here in the head, so that might work. Again, the sockets won't fit the joint, so you do need a little bit of blue tack. And I think you might be able to fudge this and make it look pretty decent. Yeah, I mean, if you prefer a buffer, bigger looking Ultra Instinct Mastered Goku, this works. Yeah. Neck is a little bit thick, but I think like with that bigger head sculpt, I think it actually looks pretty good. So with this Toyotaro release, you get two head sculpts. You get the normal standard Ultra Instinct Mastered head sculpt, but you also get kind of like a windswept kind of action one as well. And let's see how that looks. Yep, this one looks pretty damn good too. I just love these like artist-inspired head sculpts. Really makes the figure something special. Yeah, that works. Very cool. All right, so like I mentioned, if you wanted to use the new Games Begin Goku head, which is a very nice head sculpt, you can actually use it for a couple of bodies. And like I mentioned earlier, the socket here is on the side, like the back side. So it's not like on an angle of the hair sculpt. So you can't actually, you know, pop it on because these joints, they're just like straight up ball pegs. They don't have a hinge in the middle. So you definitely need to use some glue tack. So yeah, if you wanted to use this head sculpt for the legendary Super Saiyan body, works a treat. I think this looks pretty good. This is the Daima body, but I think a lot of people are using this for like a Super Dragon Ball Super body as well. It's like a lot thinner. The gi has a different design, and you know, we never got a Super Saiyan Goku, a Daima Super Saiyan Goku, so if you want to use this head for this body, I think it works pretty good as well. Yeah, that works. And last but not least, I have a version 2 body. This is the Tamashii Nation store exclusive with the translucent yellow, but you know, pretty much any Goku figure, you know, with this body type is going to be the same. So again, it's not going to fit. You will need some blue tack, but yeah, I like this. Head sculpt looks great on this older body, and I think it works. There we have it, guys. Yeah, new Goku, new head swaps. Have some fun with it. Show me what you guys come up with, and yeah, make sure you tag me on Instagram. Have fun. For accessories, it's pretty standard stuff, but pretty well executed standard stuff. So I'm good with what we get here. We just get a bunch of hands, but we do get a pair of subscribe button punching fists. Pow! A pair of Goku martial arts hands for some Go-Kun-Do action. You get it? Jeet-Kun-Do, Go-Kun-Do. Yeah, anyway. There's a set of open palm blast hands for blasting that like button. This is your Cell Killer Goku, so we get a couple of instant transmission hands. And where would any Goku figure be without his signature Kamehameha hands? Kamehameha effect not included, but you can use your Kamehameha effect from pretty much any Goku that you have or might have in your collection. Or better yet, the legendary Super Saiyan Goku, since those hands work with this release as well. This is, without a doubt, the best Goku figure Tamashii Nations has ever put out in their S.H.Figuarts Dragon Ball line. Obviously, you're going to have preferences on what you like in your Goku, kanji logos, manga colors, early Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super, Dragon Ball GT, but as far as iconic looks for Goku goes, the regular Dragon Ball Z Super Saiyan poster boy of all your 90s Dragon Ball Z posters, cards, artwork, memorabilia, this is it, guys. This is it. It's an almost perfect balance between aesthetics and articulation, and what Tamashii have done with the upper body is really how they should be going forward with their future releases. The soft plastic overlay in its early stages with Beast Gohan was a cool concept, but this takes the idea and really refines it. Sure, we don't get as much paintwork as I'd personally like in a figure, and the accessories are pretty standard stuff, but they're done well and the extra hair sculpt is always a welcome addition. Like I said, I do hope we get a few more faceplates out of this figure from maybe future related releases, but for the price point, for a brand new faithful to the source material sculpt, extremely fun figure to pose with all its engineering feats, I couldn't be happier. I'm sure we'll see this body many times with whatever variation of Goku it fits, but personally, I would really like to get a manga color version. Lighter hair, yellow gi, I think that'd make for a great exclusive. Alright guys, that's it for this review. Let me know what you think about this figure and how many copies are you going to pick up for yourself. I have or should be posting a best 10 older Goku figures you should have in your collection video very soon, so make sure you check that one out if it's not already up on the channel. The timing is kind of all over the place. I was working on the video, but when this figure came in, I stopped working on the video and started working on this video, so this video might come out first or that video might come out first. I'm not really sure, but if it's up on the channel, go check it out. So again, I hope you guys enjoyed this lengthy review. I will be back with something probably Chainsaw Man related. But until then, keep doing those push-ups, and as always,
Yoroshiku!